We know that managers are struggling today more than ever. The problem is getting worse, not better, in spite of the tremendous number of online courses, coaching efforts, company-built programs. Today, 75% of employees say their boss is the most stressful part of their job, which, if you haven't seen that stat, is just staggering. And 85% of employees are not engaged or they're actively disengaged in their work. Managing today is crushingly difficult. As the pace of change accelerates, teams are either responding to innovation or driving innovation. Turnover is happening so fast, and even before COVID and the Great Resignation, and began to look at a lot of body of research about what types of things can you do to get people to really trust one another. First thing we came up with, you got to get the right groups together. You can't randomly throw together a group of people and expect it to stick into work. So after a ton of experimenting, looking at, we actually started with Google's Project Aristotle, and then went through a bunch of other neuroscience research about why different groups of people click and connect in working environments and elsewhere. But we found three things to be central. First, you've got to get people together who have common struggles. So you want to balance those common threads, those similar areas of experience, with a tremendous amount of diversity. So we put people through an assessment before they go into our program. It just takes about 12 to 15 minutes. We want to identify very different backgrounds, different strengths and weaknesses across, for us, it's the top 18 manager challenges. We also, instead of looking at the full spectrum of Myers-Briggs or the whole wheel of DISC, we look at whether people fall into one of three categories. We describe them as primary thinkers, feelers, or knowers. So think head, heart, gut leaders, and you want to mix them as much as possible. The third thing, though, because the margin for error for learning over Zoom is so small, we found that not having colleagues in the same group is far more powerful. When you have two people from the same company, the same organization, there's too much worry about the political ramifications of what they're going to say and open up about. So we put two small groups together and don't have two people from the same organization in any group. Once we get the group formed, we put them through what we call rapid relationship building exercises to really get them engendered with trust.
You mentioned your journey is a 9-week journey. And are you suggesting that that's a general practice to have a journey that long? Or are you saying based on your content and your experience that fit you, but for other things that may be different? Elaborate a little bit on how you chose 9 weeks.
Daryl, great question. When I first started working on this concept, I envisioned a 5-month journey that would be more than 3 hours per week. And as we started to do our research, that was just simply too much. New managers, they're incredibly busy. Many of them are newly married, have kids. They're overwhelmed in their work. It was too much to sign up for. So that 2 to 3 hour per week commitment and 9-week length of time was what we settled on based on all the research that we did. It was long enough to make an impact for people. You know, a 4-week experience is too quick. You just don't have enough iterations around some of these key topics, especially for the application. If you want a program that's going to have people kind of learning, applying, reflecting, sharing as part of the cadence for the program, then you need to have enough iterations.
My program isn't going to be across organizations. It's going to be within my own organization. So they're taking what you're saying and saying, okay, how do I set up cohorts within my own organization that maybe don't have people from the same department that we talked about before? How do I find coaches within my organization that can help facilitate the program? Now, do those coaches need to have gone through the program already? Do they need to come from external sources so that they aren't influenced? You see what I'm trying to get at? How might you choose a coach within your own organization, if you're a singular organization, to facilitate your program?
Yeah, Michael, and I also think that we can't underestimate the power of cohort. When you get the right group together, the knowledge gains that happen. And as we've been preparing for this series, we're getting a sneak preview of some of the stuff that will be shared soon. But one of the things that I found most amazing, and I think these results, I'm kind of curious on your thoughts of these results, because content is changing quickly. The workplace is changing. Jobs are changing quickly.